Cyberpunk Edgerunners is an extremely successful anime. It also started off as a complete joke. In 2020, a mid-sized game studio released a title that shook the world to its core. A fresh new take on the stale and worn-out AAA single-player genre. Character creation, non-linear gameplay, an ever-changing world that adapts to your choices. I'm not done. Arcades, racetracks, boxing, bars, clubs, strip clubs. This baby took 7 years of development and cost over $300 million. It sucked. The initial launch hit over 800,000 players at its peak, but just a month later, it nosedived. Then it nosedived again, and again. The studio execs quickly realized they had a problem on their hands. Okay guys, our player numbers have dropped over 97% in the last 2 months. But wait, didn't we just launch the game? Silence! We're here to come up with solutions. Yes, you, the guy with the raised hand. Can't we just make the game better? You know, fix all the bugs that people have been reporting? Silence! Does anyone in this damn room have any good ideas? You, guy with the face. How about we make anime? And that's how Edgerunners was born, with the entire internet watching their every move. The show's writers nervously got to work under the leadership of this guy, Bartosz Sztybor. Now, if you're wondering why his name is made up of mostly consonants, it's because he's Polish. And Polish people are known for 2 things: tenacity and being a little racist. So with the weight of the world on his shoulders and the goal of saving an entire franchise, Bartosz was gonna do it all, with nothing but a story and a message. This is Night City, a multicultural metropolis in the not-so-distant future where corporations run the show. You can buy anything here. Cyborg limbs, kung fu skills, bigger pee-pee, you name it. And right in the center of this sprawling, hyper-capitalistic megacity is David. David's a deadbeat kid from the slums who goes to the #1 school in town. The catch? He hates it there, but he goes anyway, for his mom. You see, his mom has this dream that one day David will graduate and climb the corporate ladder all the way to the top. And by God, dreams can be infectious. So the problem is, EA's taken over the school system and classes are now DLC. David, being poor and everything, can't afford DLC, so he installs a bootleg version of his textbook on the school's computer and crashes the system. His classmates give him shit, he almost gets expelled, and his mom agrees to pay for the damages with money she doesn't have. On the way home, the real story begins. His mom gets shot and they don't have insurance. David blows through the family's life savings and rushes her to a doctor. It's not enough. He tries desperately to scrape together some money by selling illegal implants on the black market. This one in particular is highly coveted, extremely rare, and offers unimaginable power at the cost of unimaginable risk. But he just can't close the deal. The next day, he gets evicted from his place and gets jumped by Kung Fu Kid over here for trying to defend his mom's honor. None of this matters though, because when he gets to the hospital, he finds out that the person he'd loved most in the world is gone. But David's mom didn't leave him with nothing, no. She left him with street smarts, the clothes on his back, and this military-grade Sandevistan, which he should never use. Driven into a corner, with nowhere left to turn. David decides... F it. The Sandy opens up all kinds of doors for David, and he now has the power to slow down time at will, kinda like in the Matrix. What's he gonna do with all this newfound incredible power? Beat up his classmate and turn to a life of petty crime, of course. He's like 15, remember? Here's a bit of advice, kid. Are you the real shit? Or are you just a stain?
David joins a gang, steals a car he can't drive, goes to an underground boxing match and straight up kills a guy for a pair of golden hands, so his friend can jerk off in luxury. Damn, I wish I had friends like that.
His boss, Maine, is a surprisingly nice guy. Takes him under his wing and shows him the ropes. After a few gigs, David's made enough money for cyber lungs to run faster and cyber hands to punch harder. Next on his list, a cyber butthole to teabag his enemies in style. In this episode, he kidnaps a celebrity. In this one, he takes a hyper-realistic virtual reality trip to the moon. And in this one, he gets the girl. A few years pass. David's even more chromed up now, and he's looking invincible. He's also the leader of the gang now, which... Hang on a sec. What's his last name again? Time and time again, David proves that he's not just a stain, he's the whole goddamn turd. But enjoy this while you can, David, because all this fun always comes at a cost. Hans dies, Main dies. A lot of people in Night City die to cyberpsychosis. Cyberpsychosis is a problem. It's the one thing you can't run from, no matter how many upgrades you get. Cyberpsychosis doesn't care about the color of your skin, what car you drive, or the chrome between your legs. When you see someone's eyes go, you know it's time to go. Cyberpsychosis is your brain's response to the stress of replacing your own flesh and blood with hunks of metal and Mountain Dew. It's a stark reminder for citizens of Night City that the more you sell who you are in exchange for power, the higher the risk of losing your mind. It's the author's way of warning us against trading our humanity for shiny new things that promise to make our lives better. And it's as true in Night City as it is in our own world that the more pieces of yourself that you lose, the deeper you'll sink into, well, this. Anyway, whatever it is, it's a one-way ticket to hell, and no one in their right mind would be dumb enough to cross that line. Right, David? Fuck. So David crosses that line, and slowly but surely, he loses everything. His body, his mind, his soul. And in his last battle with Adam King Smasher himself, the show's message is revealed. What do you do when you're up against an insurmountable force that's built to take everything from you? I'm not talking about Smasher, I'm talking about Night City. Night City is the kind of place that bleeds you dry and sucks on your bones. David was born on the wrong side of the tracks, and because of that, what little he had was constantly under fire of being taken away. His home, his friends, his family, everything that his uptown classmates take for granted, David had to fight tooth and nail for, day after day. And that shit's exhausting. So when Smasher puts a gun to his head and pulls the trigger, it's the first time in David's short life where he's finally free. Free of burden, free of expectation, and free of regret. Because in David's final moments, he's not in Night City anymore. In a strange twist of fate, his cyberpsychosis takes him to his own reality and lets him face his demons one last time. See, it doesn't matter if your dreams are literally being sold by corporations in the real world. Down here, you can have it all. So as David overcomes his biggest regrets one by one, he starts to let go. And by the time he gets back, he's whole. And that's the message CD Projekt Red is trying to convey through this heart-wrenching story. That if David can let go of all his regrets and find peace just moments before his death, then maybe you too can let go of how shitty 2077 was.
Are you f***ing with me now?